Hey everyone, Sin on Twitch here with another video. A few weeks ago, I did something that 5 years ago I swore I would never do. I resubbed to World of Warcraft. And with Battle For Azeroth having been only $20 at the time of purchase, like a month ago, it seemed like a pretty solid deal. That being said, I got my 110 boost, and while I had already had a 110 Orc Warrior from my Legion days, primed and ready to rock, I said, hell with it. I'm making a paladin. So, little context, back in the days of Northrend when Sin was at the age of 11, my cousin was like, yo dude, check out this sick game called World of Warcraft. And so I did, and it destroyed my entire childhood. Like, cue my mother yelling, get down here and do the dishes. Anyways, that old Lich King era account is long lost to the ages of Azeroth. So back when Legion arrived and I was in college, I bought Legion and leveled a tune there. So here we are, 5 years later, with my reasons why, in 2020, you should give Battle For Azeroth just a chance. It's nearing the end of its cycle. Shadowlands has already been announced. It's already in alpha for some players, and I don't know. I've been enjoying my time here, and some veteran players might agree with me, some veteran players might disagree with me, but as someone who's kind of opted in and opted out of World of Warcraft over the years, I think there's some stuff here for returning players that could really just be a nice time killer during these weird times. So without further ado, here we go. Diving right in. The Battle For Azeroth story is a fairly solid premise, or so it seems. It looks like Blizzard finally tried really hard here to recapture what WoW had seemingly lost over the years, and that's a sense of purpose for your character and a sense of purpose in the overall story. So basically, the Horde and Alliance are back at each other's throats again, but this time there's something odd about it. Something very mysterious and dark is kind of brewing the backdrop, and to avoid spoilers, it's something old. So, in this story, you are the champion of Azeroth, fighting for your respective faction in a war that neither side truly really understands at this point in a post-Burning Legion era of Azeroth. Sounds pretty cool, right? Well, that's because it kind of is. From a story perspective, this entire thread, from the Zandalar campaign as Horde, to Cool Tiras, and the following patch quest lines like the Black Empire, all feel like Blizz is taking one last stroll down Azeroth memory lane before Shadowlands drops and turns everything we know straight on its head. And honestly, I kind of liked being a part of it. My character felt meaningful, my character felt important to the story. We visit old locations like, I believe it's Ramadan, and then we go to Pandaria, Blackwing Descent where we fought Nefarian, and it includes so many quote-unquote greatest hits from the WoW eras that I think returning fans and even new players are still going to enjoy. Leveling just feels good in Battle For Azeroth. So this is going to change once again in Shadowlands when that comes out. All levels are going to be crunched from the 120 max back down to 60, where Classic currently sits at the max upon its official release. But just for leveling in Alt earlier this week, I was able to jump from 1 to 40 plus in less than a day's worth of playing time, which was pretty cool and kind of a change from what I was used to back when I used to play. Some older fans might grumble about this, but honestly, I think I think the variety is the spice of life here, and being able to pretty much level and main whatever you want to main and play without dedicating a 9-to-5 grind to that specific character is pretty cool. This is something that we never really had, at least back when I originally had played. Being younger, hitting max level was kind of a hard thing to do, and I can understand why some veteran players might not enjoy this, but as a returning player or someone that hasn't played in a long time, it's really easy to get caught up, especially on alt characters, and being able to really just go out into the world and explore, because Azeroth has a lot to explore at this point in time. So that's a pretty good reason. Easy topic. Nothing too crazy there, which I really did enjoy that. It was really cool being able to have an alternate character on top of my main character. One more dungeon. Dungeons are probably the best way to grind through and earn gear at the 400 item level plus, and honestly, I didn't dread it. Queue times, even for DPSs, are not as bad as they used to be, and bringing your friends along is a really fun way to kill time on a Saturday night. Last night, we ran a couple heroic dungeons on stream, and we had a good time doing it. It was pretty fun, and that's actually what this footage that will be shown is from. But like I said, dungeons feel good still. The raids, I haven't tried any of the new Battle for Azeroth raids, but I've heard that they're fun while being somewhat still difficult, which is really cool. I like the way loot is being handed out. I didn't feel like I was cheated out of anything, and honestly, it felt pretty good. And yeah, so there's good content there. This leads me into endgame activities, guys. So in Battle for Azeroth, the 8.3 patch, Visions of N'Zoth, actually introduced a new endgame type activity called Horrific Visions. So it's not a raid, it's not a dungeon, it's a grindable endgame activity that tests your mettle at increasingly higher difficulties, showing an alternate future of Azeroth, where the old god N'Zoth has taken over some of the characters that we know and love, like Thrall. Admittedly, I struggled with this at first. I really did. But this kind of activity is a nice change of pace in comparison to WoW's dungeon raid world quest systems, of that being all there is. It fits into the overall story. It's a really neat look at what could happen should our character not step in and do something about it. And you get some pretty cool looking loot from it. And the most important thing that I would have to say about all of this is that there is something for everyone. The veteran players have challenges they can go after. The veteran players have transmogs they get to go after, things that they may have missed themselves. And even our characters, the returning players, have something to go after and something to aspire to do, which is very important in an MMO and very important in a game like World of Warcraft. And guys, I know this might have seemed like a short video, but the biggest takeaway here is that there's something for everyone. Did you miss out on older content? You can go and run that older content. They didn't get rid of any of it, except for maybe one or two things here and there, but everything's pretty much still intact from the last like 5, 6, 7 years. Are you a new player? The quest line for Zandalar, if you're Horde and Kul Tiras for Alliance, it's as engaging as it is fun to kind of test out some of your crazy abilities. Are you a veteran looking for challenge? Horrific Visions has you covered. Do you want to raid? You can find pre-made groups and go at it. And lastly, one of the best kept secrets for those out of the loop, and I don't know if this is a best kept secret within the community, but from an outsider coming back in, I had no idea that I could go back and rerun legacy raids and just stomp through them. Being able to get transmogs of the gear that I had missed out over the past decade is really cool. So anything from vanilla to Legion raids, you can collect loot for transmogging your character with the coolest armor from over the years in Azeroth. So what I'm trying to say is, no matter why you're playing this game, for me, it has been a great experience returning to Azeroth, and I'm actually very excited for Shadowlands to release. So yeah, quick video, but if we were to cover everything WoW has to offer right now, in terms of the Azerite gear, the mount grinds, the secret quests, everything, I swear we'd be here for days. We honestly would be. Now, I will say, if you guys enjoyed the video, please feel free to sub to the channel here. Check me out over on twitch.tv/SinTrigger96. That link will be in the description of this video, and that's all I really have for you guys today. So without further ado, later peeps.